podrían estar escuchando. Hoy en día, los dispositivos con micrófonos están en todas partes. Sus reuniones sensibles son vulnerables, pero tenemos la solución. Hoy en día, el protector de voz HARP utiliza tecnología avanzada para prevenir grabaciones no autorizadas y escuchas clandestinas. Proteja su privacidad. El resultado: reuniones seguras y sin preocupaciones. Aprobado por los principales líderes gubernamentales y empresariales. El protector de voz HARP es su defensa definitiva contra el espionaje de audio. Haga clic para verlo en acción y vea nuestro video de demostración hoy.
Internet gurus with no track record. Because let's be honest, most people that talk about YouTube, the only channel they have is a channel talking about YouTube, right? So they don't know how to do a business outside of just teaching other people how to do the business. It's kind of like back in the gold rush days when people would sell the picks and the shovels, right? Instead of teaching people how to mine, instead of actually mining the gold themselves, they just sell the picks and the shovels, right? So I've actually mined the gold, and I teach, and I sell the picks and the shovels. Okay, but I do it after knowing how to mine the gold. So you want to build a loyal audience that watches just one, but most of your videos, you're sick and tired of getting advice from internet gurus with no track record, and you have zero idea what these YouTube numbers mean and how to actually make money from them. Because honestly, guys, most of the videos I see out there on YouTube, and this is one of the reasons I started this business, most of the videos I see are just a complete waste of your time, right? They make the content that they think you want to see, which is not the content that you actually need, right? So they make content that sounds like it's like, oh, this is some fancy new strategy or something, right? It's not the content that you actually need to get results, right? What you actually need in many cases is actually quite simple. And I just cover the basics, and I just tell you what the most important stuff is over and over again. The important thing is that you actually execute on it. Because this is what happens when you watch all these YouTube gurus, right? The analysis paralysis problem. Most creators get stuck focusing on too many metrics and too many different things. Thumbnails, click-through rate, engagement, titles, upload schedule, saturation, competitor analysis, content quality, retention, keywords and SEO, editing, average watch time, just over and over and over again, right? Just all this stuff that most of it doesn't actually matter, especially when you first start. Now, when you get to a bigger channel and you're trying to optimize things, that's when you should be like, oh, okay, maybe I should pay attention a little bit to these different things, right? You know, if a guru is telling you as a beginner to do thumbnail A/B testing, you're just completely wasting your time, because that's optimization. There's nothing to optimize when you're a beginner, right? You need to have something in order to be able to optimize it. So a lot of this stuff that these gurus talk about is just a total waste of time when you're first beginning, right? So what can we actually control? Let's simplify the algorithm. 1, help viewers find the videos they want to watch. 2, keep people watching videos for a long period of time. So those are that's basically what the algorithm does. Help viewers find the videos they actually want to watch, and 2, keep people watching videos for a long period of time. So how do you win the algorithm? Well, let's go back to the fundamental question. Who is your channel for? At the end of this live training, you'll learn these 3 secrets. 1, why smart YouTubers only pay attention to these 3 fundamental metrics to make money with their channel. 2, how to use this sneaky SEO optimization trick to help you land your first viral video this year. So we are going to go over SEO. And 3, the positioning play your channel needs so you can get consistent views and subscribers. Plus a bonus insider secret. So secret number 1, why smart YouTubers only pay attention to these 3 fundamental metrics to make money with their channel. There's really only 3 metrics that you have to pay attention to as a YouTuber, because there's a lot of stuff, right? Much overwhelmed. There's a lot of stuff that you could do, especially when you go to advanced analytics. I mean, there's just a lot, right? But there's really only 3 metrics you need to pay attention to. Fundamental metric number 1, and by the way, this is the most important metric, is views. And if you're a business owner, it's actually revenue. Right? But if you're not a business owner, pay attention to views. However, if you are selling something, the actually revenue is more important than views.
Proporcionamos información diagnóstica confiable para una vida más saludable. Contamos con
One of them has a 10% click-through rate. and it's got a 10-minute average view duration, which is really good, right? The next one might have a 20% click-through rate and a 20-minute average view duration. And then the third one might have a 3% click-through rate and a 3-minute average view duration. So you might think like the first two are way better than the third one, right? Well, no, that's not actually true, because some of my best videos, some of the videos that have gotten the most views, have the lowest click-through rate and the lowest average view duration. And the reason for that is because they're shown to a broader audience. Once they're shown to a broader audience that is less likely to be interested in the topic, that's when you figure out if the content is going to resonate with that broader audience. And so the click-through rate and the average view duration is naturally going to go down when you show it to a broader audience, right? So views is the number one thing that actually matters. Assuming that you're not selling anything, if you are selling anything, then actually revenue is. And there's ways of tracking exactly how much revenue you make from each video. Fundamental metric number 2, click-through rate. Click-through rate's extremely important, but a lot of people get this confused because there's more to it than just what's a good click-through rate, right? So generally speaking, if your video is getting promoted in browse, this means it's showing up on the home page of YouTube, right? So the home page, right when you enter YouTube, that's where it's showing up. And this is very competitive, right? Because you're competing with Mr. Beast on browse, right? There's Mr. Beast videos popping up. There's Marquise Brownlee videos popping up, like all the biggest YouTubers, PewDiePie when he uploads, right? So it's tough to compete on the home page. And so naturally, your click-through rate is going to be lower if your video gets promoted on the home page. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? What matters here is this video got 1.9 million views. That's what matters, right? 3.4% click-through rate. You're like, oh man, that sucks. No, video got 1.9 million views, so it's fine. Now, if your video gets promoted in search, like this one right here, primarily promoted in search, you're likely going to see a higher click-through rate, right? 7.7%, because people are already actively searching to a solution. And so, that's great. Higher click-through rate is great. But the reason this is because people are actively searching. So when it comes to click-through rate, it's not really always an apples to apples comparison. Like the reason I chose these two thumbnails is because they're almost the same, right? They're almost exactly the same. And yet this one has over double the click-through rate from this one. Does that mean this one is way better? No, they're almost exactly the same. The difference is this one was promoted in search and this one was promoted in browse. And coincidentally, I usually recommend, especially when you're a smaller channel, to try to get promoted in search, right? It's just a lot easier to get promoted in search than it is to get promoted in browse. Browse is where that's the big leagues, right? That's where the big timers play. And so it's easier to get promoted in search. Now, to be fair, the algorithm is pretty advanced now. And a lot of the time, if you search stuff, it'll actually start showing you those types of videos on your home page. The algorithm is quite advanced now. So they kind of like, there's a lot of interplay in between them now. But with that being said, you're probably thinking, Shane, this is super confusing. What's a good click-through rate? It looks like that question is not answered on the slide. So a good click-through rate is 4 to 6%. Generally speaking, if you're putting your videos on browse, this is very generally speaking. If it gets promoted to a wider audience, it's probably going to go down. But 4 to 6% if your video is getting promoted on browse. And if your video is getting promoted on search, it's likely going to be somewhere between 6 to 10% is going to be a good click-through rate. Okay. So those are the answers to the question. What is a good click-through rate? That's what you want to aim for. If your video is getting promoted in search, 6 to 10% is great. If your video is getting promoted in browse on the home page, 4 to 6% is great. And then fundamental metric number 3, AVD. Basically, with this one, this is the average amount of time that someone views your video. Okay, so I wanted to use this one as an example as well, because this is one that got, I think, 4 million views, something like that. So I wanted to use this one as an example. And you can see that this is actually 57 seconds less than usual, less than my normal average view duration, right? And so you might be thinking, man, that sucks. But again, like I said, guys, when videos get promoted heavily to a broader audience, your average view duration is going to go down, okay? So 516 to 537 is typical. Average view duration here is 418. So when your videos get promoted to a broader audience, it's going to go down, and that's fine. It's no big deal. Now, some other things that affect the average view duration is how long your videos are, which I recommend when you first start on YouTube, upload videos that are bare minimum 10 minutes long, okay? And one of the main reasons for this is because it just helps a lot with the average view duration. You'll probably notice that, especially in the education niche, the biggest educational YouTubers, especially like business education, Alex Hormozy, but even outside of business education, almost all of them are uploading long videos. I mean, 10 minutes would be very short, right? That would be a very short video. Almost all of them are uploading long videos, right? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, sometimes an hour. There's a reason for that, because it increases your average view duration and it increases the watch time, right? So how do you increase AVD? Make longer videos. Now, you need to make sure that your videos are still valuable, right? They need to be value packed. So you can't just, have the same amount of value, but a longer video. You need to have, if you're making it double the length, it needs to be double the value, right? And so, yeah, average view duration. What's a good AVD? Aim for at least 4 minutes. But I'd say about 4 to 6 minutes, somewhere around there is pretty good. But again, if you have longer videos, you might get significantly longer. I've had some videos that were quite long that had like 10-minute, 11-minute average view durations. And then just know that if your video gets promoted to a larger audience, the average view duration is going to go down. Secret number 2, how to use this sneaky SEO optimization trick to help you land your first viral video. So one thing I'm going to say about this is, like, don't worry about any of the other metrics, okay? Just worry about these 3. Get your click-through rate up, get your average view duration up, and get your views up. Or if you're treating this like a business, get your revenue up per video. But you probably have to get views before you get revenue. So just focus on views at first, okay? Get more views, get your click-through rate up, get your average view duration up. So the real answer to the question is just get more of these, okay? Get your views up, get your click-through rate up. So what's a good click-through rate? A higher click-through rate. That's a good click-through rate. What's a good average view duration? A higher average view duration, right? So just try to get these up incrementally, get them up a little bit, figure out what you're doing wrong. Maybe your intros are boring, for instance. You see people are dropping off, and then just get these up, right? It's a process. Secret number 2, how to use this sneaky SEO optimization trick to help you land your first viral video this year. All right, so this is the Moneyball method. And this is a method that I have used on probably 80% of the videos I've uploaded. And basically the way it works is you try to hit a home run, but if you don't hit a home run, you at least get on base. Okay, so this is a baseball analogy. This is a movie, Moneyball. You might have seen this movie, great movie. And in this movie, they basically found that home run hitters were overvalued, and people who could just hit the ball and get on base were undervalued. Okay, and so they basically just created an entire team of people who can just hit the ball and get on base. And they ended up doing phenomenally well by doing that. And, this is, this was at the time just a crazy idea. And what I did is I took this idea and I applied it to YouTube. So what I do with my videos is I try to make videos that could go viral, right? AKA hit a home run. But if they don't, because let's be real, not all of your videos are going to go viral. In fact, it's going to be quite rare that they go viral. If they don't, they still get views from search. And this is a very sneaky SEO method that I've been using for a very long time. And here's how it works. So some videos may start off as duds at first, just like this one, right? So this one didn't do that well at first. You know, it just seemed like an average video, maybe even below average. And then over time, it just outperformed. It just did extremely well. And, you know, it got, I think, 738,000, something like that, which is 633,000 more than usual. And the reason for that is because I tried to hit a home run. It didn't end up being a home run, but it did end up getting on base and getting views from search. Okay. So that is what happened with this video. And that's what has happened with hundreds of videos on my channel. I still get millions of views a month from search, from videos that I uploaded a long time ago. So you notice any pattern in these successful titles? Here's the sneaky SEO method. You might, you know, look at it real quick and notice, I think it's kind of a redundant question. The main keyword is almost always very close at the beginning. Okay. Top 5 college degrees. That's the main keyword that are actually worth it. Colleges you need to avoid. Engineering degree tier list. 17, work from home job companies, always hiring. Work from home job is the main keyword. Is an aerospace engineering degree worth it? Aerospace engineering. Actually, in this case, aerospace engineering degree would be the main keyword. The main keyword is almost always very close to the beginning. Okay. So I make the title attractive. Top 5 college degrees that are actually worth it. Colleges you need to avoid, ... Engineering degree tier list. 17, work from home job companies always hiring. Is an aerospace engineering degree worth it? I make it an attractive title. It's clickable. There's a chance that it could go viral. It could get on the home page. But if it doesn't, the main keyword is very close to the beginning of the title. And this is what helps it really rank for these extremely important keywords. So when someone types in college degrees, there's a very good chance this exact video or videos very similar to it are going to pop up at the top. When someone types in engineering degree, there's a very good chance this video is going to pop up at the top. When someone types in work from home job, you know, maybe my other videos might pop up but for a long time, this one would very likely have popped up at the top and people click on it. And it's not just YouTube, it's also Google, right? So people search on Google and the videos pop up at the top of Google as well. So let's talk about the 3 steps to come up with a viral SEO optimized title. 1, take an idea from a relatively small channel with lots of views. So the most worthless college majors. This is the icon method. We're not going to go over the icon method because we've gone over it many other times. Also, check out my second channel, Shane Hummus Unfiltered. I go over exactly how to do the icon method on that channel if you're confused about that. But basically, you select a video that is objectively bad from a small channel that does not have an active audience. And then it did really well, right? So it did really well from a small channel. It's objectively bad. And you take that video idea, you make a good video, and you make with a good thumbnail, a good title, a good intro, a good value, and then you upload it, right? That's the icon method in a nutshell. So take some keywords from the idea and use the YouTube search bar or keywords everywhere tool to find related keyword with the highest volume of search. So in this case, college degrees, worst college degrees. You could kind of see right here, 3,700 per month. Also, see here that companies are paying $12.78 for this keyword, right? So this is a dirty little secret from YouTube. YouTube will never tell people this, okay? They won't admit this. But if companies are paying a lot of money to ads for their ads to show up or with certain keywords, don't you think that YouTube is going to promote those videos more? Yes, of course they're going to promote those videos more, right? They're absolutely going to promote those videos more because they want these companies to have ad slots. They want these companies to have videos where their ads can pop up that they're spending so much money on, right? And so this is a really sneaky little tool. You can use a tool like Keywords Everywhere to see not only which ones have search volume, because worst college degrees does have a good amount of search volume, but on top of that, which ones companies are paying advertising money for, right? Very important. And so take that key phrase and change it slightly to make it more appealing, and boom, the most useless degrees, just like that, 4.2 million. And the pro tip here is slight changes are key. Get the same idea, but with different titles. You don't want to compete with the exact same keyword, okay? So there's a reason why I didn't say the most worthless college degrees. I did the worst degrees, right? Or the most useless degrees. There's a reason for that, because I didn't want to compete with the exact word worthless college majors, right? He put worthless college majors. I put useless degrees, right? So there's a, that's just an example right there, right? You want to change it up a little bit because you don't want to be competing with the original video. You don't want them putting you up against a video that already has 760,000 views, because people are probably going to watch it just because of the social proof of it having a lot of views, right? So these are the secrets, guys. Very sneaky little tricks here. Okay, these are things that took my channel to the next level, is doing little stuff like this, right? Here's another example. Top 11 companies always hiring work from home jobs worldwide. So this video, I wouldn't say it's objectively bad. I mean, it's like mediocre to bad, right? If you clicked on the video, his face was kind of blurry. Also, I'm not a big fan of doing this diagonal text on thumbnails. I've never found that performs well. Yeah, it's just not that good, right? Top 11 companies always hiring work from home jobs worldwide. It did extremely well, right? Despite the fact that it was from a small channel. At the time he uploaded this, his channel was less than 100,000 subscribers. So it was from a small channel. This video actually grew his channel tremendously. And so you typed here work from home jobs. I saw it had massive volume, 1.5 million. And so what I did is I put work from home job, but then I also added companies afterwards. So it not only ranks for work from home job, but it also ranks for work from home job companies. That's another thing you can do, is actually try to rank for multiple keywords. And I made it sound attractive, right? So it's an attractive sounding title. And it got millions of views. And I think now this one has 4 million views, right? This is a old picture we took. So just another example. I used the icon method. I found the right video. I changed up the title. So this is top 11 companies always hiring work from home jobs worldwide. I did top 17 work from home job companies always hired. So you see, like, do not copy the title, right? Like, that's an extremely important part, because if I would have copied his title, this video would have absolutely bombed, because it would have pitted my video directly against his video. And his video already had 6.3 million views. So people are going to click on that video because of social proof, right? Because other people did it. It's just that simple, right? Like, you're way more likely to watch the video if a bunch of other people are watching it. So you do not want to completely copy the titles. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Do not copy the titles. Find a better version of the title. So 17 work from home job companies always hiring versus top 11 companies always hiring work from home jobs, right? So companies always hiring work from home jobs was his keyword. My keyword was work from home job companies always hiring. And then I did worldwide at the end. So another viral video example. So the Moneyball method, it's great. I've used it so many times. It's just such a great method, because you're basically taking no risk when you do the Moneyball method. There's a chance that you hit a home run. Maybe 5-10% of the time you're going to hit a home run. Now these days for us, I mean, we're hitting home runs like probably 20-30% of the time. Like, we're really doing well. But when you first start, maybe 5% chance, right? 1 out of every 10, 1 out of every 20 videos. I think out of my first 12 videos I used this method with, I did have 2 home runs, although one of them took some time to be a home run. So like the first couple months, it wasn't a home run, and then it took off. So I had 2 out of my first 12 were home run using this method. And yeah, it's just super effective. This one right here, it got promoted in browse. You can see the click-through rate's kind of low, but it absolutely crushed it. This is another one I use the Moneyball method with. Avoid these colleges. Yeah, got 8% click-through rate because it gets most of its views from search. And colleges you need to avoid, right? Here's a client using this method. I lost 20 pounds in 2 months with 3 simple changes. They found the video with the icon method. Immediately, this video was a 1 of 10, and it started off, 850 views right away, 11% click-through rate, average view duration was quite high, and then it grew. And I just want you guys to take note. Usually, there's a little gray thing right here that shows what your average video does, right? And there actually is one. It's just so small that it blended in with the line. Like their gray part is so small that it actually blended in with the line, right? So their typical video performance was so far down here that you can't even see it. 177 versus 176.1K more than usual. So this was like a 200x increase from their typical video. This was the very first video they uploaded after working with us, and it went viral. This is somebody who was uploading for years and they didn't have any success. Another person who worked with us, same thing, 66K views. They started crushing it right away. This person, this is another video that 500 views per hour right after uploading it, and then this one started crushing it. This person is doing about 70K views per month now. When they first started, they were doing almost nothing. Yeah, it's this method works, guys. It really works. Secret number 3, the positioning play your channel needs so you can get consistent views and subscribers. There's 4 types of positioning, and this is something that almost nobody thinks about, but it's actually extremely important. When you're talking about a topic, you can position yourself there's really 3 different ways, and then there's a 4th one that I created. And the 3 ways are the learner, the enthusiast, and the expert. Okay. So there's really 3 different ways you can position yourself when you're talking about content. You can position yourself as a learner. So as an example, if I were to start a channel about jujitsu or something, right? I have very limited knowledge of jujitsu. I would position myself as a learner. I'm not going to position myself as a jujitsu expert because I'm not, right? I would position myself as a learner. And if you notice, if you look up jujitsu, some of the highest level channels out there actually, when they started, did position themselves as a learner, right? And now they might be an enthusiast or an expert, but when they first started, they positioned themselves as a learner. So here's an example of another channel, how I actually went from 0 to 2000 in chess. So basically, she just started chess, and she kind of just documented her journey of getting better at chess, right? Very interesting content because it's extremely relatable, right? It's very relatable when you just share your journey of doing something, because the truth is most people, like 99% of people, are not experts at whatever they're talking about. And so if you position yourself as an expert when you're not an expert, people are going to see through it pretty quickly. Most people in any given subject.
Olvida todo lo que sabías sobre los juegos de guerra. El juego de acción a gran escala War Thunder te traerá una...
About that, like, hey, I'm learning this. It's almost like you're doing it together with a buddy, right? It's almost like you're learning the same thing with a buddy. That's the vibe that you have when you watch their content. So it can be very refreshing, Second is an enthusiast. And this is somebody, let's just say a learner is someone who's maybe like a 3 out of 10 at any given subject, right? They're not a total beginner, but they're like a 3 out of 10. An enthusiast might be like a 5 to 7 out of 10, somewhere around there. And the enthusiast is somebody who is probably like an intermediate at the subject. They're quite good at it, but they're not an expert on it. And they also, as an enthusiast, for instance, what you can do is you can reference experts. And this is something I think someone who does a really good job of this is Ali Abdal. So he references data, studies, books from experts, expert opinions in his content all the time. And what this does is he positions himself almost as just like an enthusiast of the subject. He's just very passionate about the subject, and he wants to give the best information based on people who are experts on it and who have studied it for a very long time. And this is also a very refreshing way of positioning your content. Because again, there are a lot of people who act like they're experts when they're actually not experts, right? And so it can be very refreshing when somebody's a little bit ahead of you, right? He's maybe a 5 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 at the subject. Ali Abdaal talks about like skincare, study, how to be productive, YouTube. He talks about like 50 different subjects on his channel. And he doesn't position himself as an expert when he talks about these subjects. And that's one of his secrets, is most of the time he actually positions himself as an enthusiast. Even though with some of the subjects he might actually be an expert, he still kind of positions himself as an enthusiast. And it comes across as very humble when you do things this way. And so when you're watching YouTube, try to think to yourself, like your favorite YouTubers, how do they position themselves, right? Do they position themselves as a learner, an enthusiast, an expert? And why do you think so many people like them if they position themselves these different ways? And so an expert would be someone who's like, a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10, something like that. They're very, very good at the subject. Okay. So like basically they're the top, 1%, top 5%, depending on the subject. They're extremely good. So an example of an expert is Jeff Chan. He's a professional MMA fighter. He's in the top 1% of MMA fighters. And he makes lots of videos about, my top 8 Muay Thai elbow setups, real-time sparring. He shows people in real-time sparring doing these setups. And he is definitely an expert. He's top 1% in the world at what he does. And he positions himself as an expert. And he actually knows what he's doing. But the problem with a lot of experts is they come across in such a way where it's just not relatable to the average person, because they're so far ahead of the average person that many experts actually have trouble explaining things in such a way where a newbie or even an intermediate in some cases will be able to understand. And so a lot of the time you'll see like the top YouTube channels on YouTube are not from experts. A lot of the time they're actually from enthusiasts in many cases. So I think that the best way to position yourself is kind of an expert enthusiast hybrid. Okay. So you're someone who's an expert, and you might you might have a certain target demographic, but you make your content in such a way where it's not scary for other types of people, like beginners and intermediates, to consume it. So just as an example, when I make YouTube content, I try to make it in such a way where a beginner would be able to understand, an intermediate would be able to understand, and an expert would be able to understand, even though the types of people I typically work with are people who want to really take YouTube seriously and treat it like a business. Okay. But I make my content in such a way where anyone can understand. Right. So expert enthusiast hybrid is really the way to go, because you have that passion of the enthusiast and the optimism of the enthusiast, but you have the expertise of an expert. So you can really give a lot of value. So this is really the best way to position yourself, in my opinion, especially if you're going to try to sell stuff later on. However, if you're not an expert on the subject, then just position yourself at, like, if you are like level 3, position yourself as a learner, share your journey of becoming an enthusiast, an intermediate, share your journey of becoming an expert, right? That is the best way to go. And by doing this, I see people that start to properly position themselves, and I see huge changes, right? Huge changes in their channels. Here's a couple of different examples, like 159K more than usual. This person's views over doubled, so they got 150% more. This person's views went up significantly, like in the last 48 hours, their views were down here and they went up significantly. They just started crushing it, basically. Josh, for instance, he was not positioning himself right. He went from making less than $1,000 a month to making over $186,000 a month, right? So I knew I had the knowledge to help people that I want to help, but I didn't know how to reach those people and scale. Then he had his first $5,000 a month, then his first $10,000 a month, and now he has had $186,000 months. Davis, his sales went up by 400%. He's now making over 100K per month after working with me. He's been running YouTube for a year without much success, but after working with Shane, we managed to gain a 400% increase in sales. And YouTube became his #1 source for getting clients and running a 100K per month consulting business. Now, insider secret. What you must do is immediately duplicate this success. What you must do to immediately duplicate this success and create a profitable YouTube channel right now, so that you can, work your way towards getting results like this, right? You start off, try to get to 10K per month. That's a great place to start. Then get to 30K per month. That's 1K per day. Then you get to 100K per month, and then eventually you can make it here, right? Basically, what we did is we created a system that works for anyone, right? Because we basically thought, okay, this worked for me, but can this work for someone else? And we noticed that, like, when we started teaching other people how to do this, we had lots of other people. We had a truck driver, a cybersecurity girl, a IT expert. We had someone who was a financial controller, which is a type of accountant. We had someone who taught people how to hack college degrees, like basically get college degrees faster. We had, and he was a doctor himself that went through college. We had this 18-year-old kid who's a college kid who had 0 life experience, just et cetera, et cetera. Lots and lots of different people. And every single one of them blew up, right? Every single person that we implemented this system into their content creation, and this really like a business into their content creation, they blew up. It just happened over and over again. These were people that sometimes they were completely new. Sometimes a lot of them had been trying on YouTube for a while and failing. Just this one, over and over again, right? You can see these people like not getting results, not getting results, not getting results. They start working with us. They start getting results immediately. And this is just the AdSense money they're making. They're making far more on the back end when they properly monetize it. This person, this was the 18-year-old kid. He made 10K within 18 days of his first launch. He didn't even have 1K subs yet. This guy gave my notice at work, feeling fantastic. Gonna have so much freed up mental energy. 6 more weeks. This guy, brand new immature course, has 1,200 students now. All streams minus the 9 to 5 made about 40K last month. 32K from our channel. When we first started with them, they were making 4K. April revenue, 161,000. This one here, flat around $1 million. Rich people problems. This is one of our higher level clients. I'll likely clear 100K gross for April, but we'll see. This is one of the cyber people, 2,500 emails. And quite literally, your videos do all the work for you, right? And this allows me to live this lifestyle where I'm able to travel, right? I've got tropical paradise right behind me right now. So this is a picture of me in Vancouver, British Columbia. This is me in Tokyo. I think I might be going there next week or maybe the week after. This is a picture of me in Singapore. And you can basically just do whatever you want because the choice is yours, right? This is how you're able to create that kind of lifestyle. So why am I doing this? Well, I was working as a pharmacist. I hated my job. I wanted to escape. I knew that I had a lot of value to give, a lot of value to bring to the table. Tried a bunch of different businesses. They failed. This is like the booty kit, for instance. And my bank account was getting extremely low. I was running out of money. And by the way, I had a negative net worth in the multiple 6 figures when I first started on YouTube because I had college loans, right? And I started on YouTube, started growing. I also started a bunch of different stuff, but the YouTube channel was the thing that really interested me. It's the thing that I really found a lot of, like, it was just a lot of fun to do YouTube videos, and I really just enjoyed doing it. So even though it wasn't getting great results at first, I just kept going. And eventually I blew up, right? And, I now have a 1.1 million subscriber YouTube channel. And I want to help ordinary people, business owners, agency owners, coaches, personal brands, consultants, service providers, basically people who have an online business or want to make money online to grow their business, right? Because when you think about the other options, option 1 is try to figure it out on your own. That's going to be a lot of trial error, time, money, opportunity cost, and it really costs your life plus your money. Option 2, college and university, but you have to get an actual good degree. And, you know, going to university to learn how to do YouTube is probably not the best idea if you watched any of my videos. Or you can take the swap and I'll guide you through the content growth engine system for the next 6 months, helping you to achieve this yourself. So I'm sure you know, this is not for everyone. I can only handhold about 3 to 5 people at a time. So you can basically do this yourself based on the information that I give freely on my channel. I don't gatekeep any information. Sometimes my clients will get access to information faster just because I don't have, you know, I'm going to update my clients first when new stuff comes out. But eventually I put all the information on the channel for free. I don't gatekeep anything. However, what I do sell is the implementation, right? I sell done with you or done for you services. So I sell coaching and I help people grow with that. So I can only handhold about 3 to 5 people at a time. And because you deserve to have my team's full commitment, that's why we get people such good results. We actually recently just calculated out of all of our B2B clients, I believe it was 91.4% of clients got results within 6 months, which is pretty crazy. So we have insanely high success rates. Now, and this is why, because we work very closely with people, and you deserve to have my team's full commitment. So would it be helpful to discuss your situation and the challenges that you're facing in starting a YouTube business? If that is the case, go ahead, scan this QR code or click the link below to book a free strategy call now. And what we'll do on this strategy call is we will figure out where you're at right now, what your goal is, so your current situation, your desired situation, what your goal is. We'll make a plan on how you can get to that goal with YouTube. And then we'll see if we're a good fit to work together or not. So whether or not we work together, the strategy session is going to be very valuable to you. And so go ahead and book a call right now. And you can also, if for whatever reason you can't scan the QR code or you know, type the link in or click the link in the chat, because the link should be in the chat as well. You can also just type this in, go.shanehummus.com/coaching. And here are a few other people that I've worked with. Bill grew his channel to 177K plus subs, and he's now making over 70K per month. Shane helped me out with keyword research, titles, and thumbnails, as well as turning my YouTube channel into a business. And he turned his YouTube channel from a liability, sucking up all his time, to a business that works for him while having a full-time job. Stan, still learning every day, now makes over 400K per month. Been doing YouTube full-time for 6 years, but still found Shane's expertise to help me refine strategies specific to educational talking head content. Shane's advice on strategy, monetization, and building a team for content creation is a must for educational channels. And he's now the biggest French YouTuber in his market. Philip never ran out of ideas again using Shane's content. He's now making 30K plus per month. Last time I checked, he was making a lot more than this, but yeah, he's crushing it. And together, we will duplicate my business over to you so you can start earning as soon as possible. So scan this QR code or click the link below to book a free strategy call. There's also a link that'll drop in the chat. And let's go ahead and take some questions. Hey, Kaylana, what's up? How's it going? Awesome. All right, guys, I'm gonna put the questions here, scroll up and start answering them. Okay. What's our time here? What's our time looking like? Okay, we're good on time. Okay, I'd like to learn how to grow the channel. Let me see how to keep coming up with new content. Okay, that is the video that got me here. Interesting. Zio, that's cool. I'll be happy with 5K. Yep, that's awesome. That would be awesome. I'm really going to do whatever he says and put my faith in him. Good stuff, Jory. You definitely should. Do you need to have a product or service already to monetize? No, Joanna, you don't need to have a product or service already. You can use affiliate marketing to monetize. We do recommend making your own product or service at some point. YouTube Mock Champion, what are your thoughts on faceless YouTube channels? Not a huge fan, Mock Champion. With that being said, one of my clients did make faceless work really well. I'm not a huge fan of it simply because it's a lot harder to get people to buy your stuff when you're a faceless channel because there's a lack of trust there. They don't know who you are, right? So there's a lack of trust. So people are probably not going to buy your stuff. And trust is extremely important. Bobert's stuff. What is the efficacy of AI faceless channels? I think that's kind of the same thing. I think that they're going to start cracking down on a lot of them soon because they're making AI slop. However, if you're making quality content with AI, I think it's fine. But it's still just significantly harder. I do think that everyone should be implementing AI into their content creation process. And this is something that I teach people how to do. All right. Rosanna says, no kidding. We'd be foolish not to. Yep. Definitely book a call. Maverick, oh, wow. My biggest thing was how long I should make my videos. Yeah. Videos, make them long, right? 10 minutes, bare minimum. I would say the perfect amount of time to make your videos, 14 minutes and 59 seconds. Because it's kind of like the, price slashing at Walmart where it's like $9.99 or $9.97, right? Yeah, 14 minutes and 59 seconds is probably perfect. for a new channel. What's up, Kaylana? Your channel seems to be doing well. Love what I've seen in your videos so far. I've shared your channel with friends. Awesome. Love it, Kaylana. Zio, can shorts use the search strategy? I'm not a big fan of shorts, Zio. I think that until you have your long form content optimized, shorts is borderline waste of time. Shorts is good for feeding people into your long form content, but until you have your long form content optimized, it's basically a waste of time. Like nobody makes a ton of money from shorts. Lexi says, what does the click-through rate mean? That's the average amount of people who click your video per 100 people that see the thumbnail. Where can we find that download the keywords everywhere tool? By clicking keywords everywhere, like typing in keywords everywhere on Google. YouTube, Victoria Lapanto, is there a cost for the training? Yes, the training is not free. We don't charge for information, but the training is not free. Yeah, I think you can get started for as little as $1,000. Kevin, what if I do make stuff to sell woodworking but can't get anyone to buy? Actually, I think we have some funding options where you can actually get started for less than $1,000, Victoria, but yeah. What if I do make stuff to sell woodworking but can't get anyone to buy? What? Are you saying that this is a problem you're having, Kevin? Or are you just making up problems that haven't happened already? I'm not 100% sure what, like, are you saying that is a problem that you are having right now, Kevin? Or are you just like fabricating problems that haven't actually happened and wasting your time worrying about them? Because like that's like if you properly monetize, people are gonna buy. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like if you do the exact steps that you're supposed to do to get the outcome, and the exact steps that other people have done to get the outcome, then you're gonna get the outcome too. Might not be exactly the same. It might be 10% different, 20% different, but you're gonna get the outcome too. So yeah, don't worry about that, Kevin. Michael Hilburn said, I felt much better doing it myself with the help of AI. Once I get income, I'll take the course. Thank you, Shane. I'll sign up soon. Awesome, Michael. Yeah, I think we actually have new funding options where you guys can get started for less. And we're testing this out. So yeah, you'll have to talk to the coach about that though. So shorts channel is a no-no. Yeah, absolutely not. Don't waste your time with shorts. Yeah, shorts is people buy, like the reason people go on YouTube is because of long form content. People don't go on YouTube for shorts. People buy from long form content. Yeah. Okay, Kevin. So your channel is okay. So send your channel, Kevin. Let's see what you're doing. The way you asked the question kind of confused me. I thought you were saying you were just like making up problems that didn't exist. Send the link to the channel, Kevin. because I have students that do that a lot. They're like, what if I post the video and it doesn't do well? Don't worry about that right now. Just worry about that, like worry about problems as they pop up. So you guys will work with us if we're serious but kind of tight on money. Yeah, I mean if you're serious, yeah, if you really take it serious, we can figure something out with you, Jory. But we really have to take, like, yeah, we have to make sure that you're somebody who we can get results for, right? And you're really willing to put in the work. Channel's almost 2 years old. Are you sending the link, Kevin? Okay.
Dispositivos con micrófonos están con micrófonos están con micrófonos están